Adding myself to the stream. Here we go. So, what is going with you guys? We're just waiting for the superstar Stratton Brown to join us. Stratton's somebody I met never in person, in fact. Just funny think back, we've never met in person, but I connected with him probably a year and a half ago now, through real estate investing, of course. He's a good friend of a number of my good friends, and relationships, everyone. Relationships is everything in life. So just wanted to go live, talk to you about something that awesome, which Stratton has coming up in the next month. And whoever said hi, big stud, I would love you to go into StreamYard and authorize your name so I know who's shouting out to me. That would be great. So yeah, whoever you are, that's true for sure. I believe you. There is a lot of news out there that's false in this world, but that's definitely true. So yeah, Stratton's traveling at the moment. I think he's in Texas. He's on the road. He's buying some storage units all around the country, and he's buying houses everywhere. And he's really crushing it. He's building his brand very well. He's very turned on social media. And hey, Brandon, how you doing? I hope to see you this weekend. I'm not sure if you're busy on Saturday, but we have a meetup in Chandler. We had a last-minute change of venue because we couldn't get a confirmation from the previous venue, and unfortunately they closed. So we're going to be at Chandler Library, which is hopefully close enough for you to come and join us. So yeah, great to see you on here. Thanks, Brandon. So 9 people. I can never see who's specifically on here watching. Rob Robbins, I think, is on here. Rob, how are you doing, bro? So what is everyone doing this week? Have you been kicking off your new year well? This is the second week of revenue generating opportunities. What's been going on in my world, whilst I don't have any other comments, is I've been working some JV flips in the last year. Hey, Santino, how you doing? So we did a JV last summer with a student, George Werner, who's over on the East Coast. I helped him close a deal. I then bought that JV deal from him and did a flip with a JV partner here in town called Chris Bizzard. He's a great guy, does a lot of flips around town, and really started my momentum myself in flipping. Currently finishing my 5th flip, and that is going very well. So yeah, that list, the flip that I got, which was a probate lead back in August or September, we finally closed it in October. Got in there, started working on it. Light flip up in Sun City. It's a 55 plus retirement community here in Arizona, and very, very popular with these elder people that come in, the snowbirds as we call them. And we've got that under contract within 3 or 4 days of it going online, and it's due to close in a week. So without further ado, welcome to Mr. Strat Daddy, as he goes by, Stratton Brown. Where are you, Stratton?
I am currently in Lubbock,
You at the
Texas.
moment. I'm not sure if your sound is inadvertently muted. I can't hear you at the moment.
Nope. Can you hear me?
Not at the moment.
Can you hear me now?
Very quiet. Hang on one sec. Maybe it's my end. I don't hear you through there, but let me. Can you try there?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now. So I need to wear these headphones, I think. That's the issue with these. So my
Can you
apologies.
still hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, sweet.
Awesome.
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. You sound great.
Awesome.
So tell me what's going on, Stratton. What have you been up to?
We've been in Texas for 2 days. We just had a walkthrough at a storage facility we have under contract, so that went over good.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on to get like a phase 1. Oh, messed with the AirPod. And I blocked out. We're looking to get a phase 1, so it's like an environmental study. We're buying it. It's right behind a gas station. Santino here from Cleveland. What's going on, Santino? And so we got to get like some type of environmental study. Everyone says that we need to get a phase 1 if we want to get lending on it. So we're doing that. And besides, if that comes back clean, then we're good to go and we'll close on it. This will be, I got to go raise like 250 in cash for that. And so we'll raise that, give them an equity split, and have a good time. Go make some more money.
Tell us about the difference in the sales cycle and the sales process and inspections for a storage unit. It's something I haven't dealt with, but I know it's a huge market right now. It's a huge, gold mine for anybody that's investing.
And I am not an expert by any means. This will be our first facility, my girlfriend and I and our partners. This sales cycle, though, has been a lot longer. We found this in, I want to say, September. My girlfriend Kalani found it on Craigslist, and we have been going back and forth and negotiating with the seller since then.
Wow. Do you think that's longer than normal? Is it the type of seller that you're dealing with which is kind of causing that longer sales cycle? Or
the dude's in a good place, right? So he doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
And it was an owner finance deal. So the way we had it set up is we went down. Oh, can you hear me, Tristan?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You just froze for a moment.
Okay. So it's a lot more money down than normal, and it's an owner finance deal. So we wanted to get it for like no money down. Obviously, the seller wasn't going for that. And he wanted close to he only wanted to carry like a 50K note. We bought it for 355. We're putting 210 down, and then we have like 40K and just like minor capex and bullshit expenses.
Yeah.
And then the note is a 5.25% note for 18 months. So it's an 18-month balloon. Right. And either we refinance it or sell it, and we're buying it at 355. We should be able to refinance or sell at about between 500 and 550.
Nice
is what we're thinking. So I mean, it'll be a good exit, like not a massive one, right? But to get massive deals, you got massive exits. You got to do massive deals.
Yeah, and I think with this sort of thing being very different from a single family, where the market values are very different, storage is only going to be more of a demand, commodity in the near future, because people are going to have those foreclosures coming in. They're going to need to downsize. Americans just seem to love storing things and hoarding things, even though it may not be a true hoarder house. They just hide it in a box somewhere and pay $200 a month to keep it there and pretend it doesn't exist until they need it, and they don't ever need it, and it just gets paid for year after year. And you say, thank you very much.
Exactly. So the big difference in the due diligence of this is that, like, we had to go look at the other competition. So the comps, you're calling the other storage facilities and seeing, like, okay, who is answering the phone? Because were the facilities in Brownfield, Texas, and it's podunk, right? Like, there's like no one around. There's one street that goes through it. Our facility's on the main street, and there's like 6 other storage facilities in the city, believe it or not.
Yeah.
These people in the South love storage facilities for some reason. And so we called all the different facilities and got all their prices to see, like, okay, well, where can we drive our rent? So are we underpriced? Are we overpriced? What's their customer service like? So when we come in, like, can we be better operators? Come in, actually answer the phone, raise our rents a little bit higher, because we did the math today. If we can raise our rents $5 higher per unit, then that would bring us $50,000 extra when we go to exit.
Nice.
Right. So it's a good thing to go get all that info. And this is all new to me, and this is a lot more of my girlfriend. I'm more of the sales and marketing guy and raising the money, and she's a lot more of the operations. But that is the biggest difference, right? To where when we're doing multifamily, we can just go on Rentometer and see what it's like and whatnot. With this, you got to call the people, because most people in the storage industry, they don't even put their prices online because they want everybody to call so they can try and close them.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I understand. Yeah. Yeah. So there's no big national chains in the town, I assume? Or is it maybe one chain and then some mom and pops in there?
No. It's all mom and pops. There's one with one of them is a facility from some brothers in Lubbock. And those brothers are, I looked at their portfolio, and they own several million square feet of self-storage just in like the Lubbock and like this West Texas area, which is pretty wild. There's a lot of property. And then there's another mom and pop that owns like 3 kind of dinky ones that are probably all together 100 units. The facility we're buying is I think like 93 units.
Mm.
And then there's one that we saw that has only Google presence there, but the facility is chained up. And in order to lease up a unit, you have to call him, have him come meet you at the unit. You sign paper documents, and then he lets you in. There's no actual gate. It's all dirt. I was like, man, you cannot put anything you think is valuable
Yeah.
into
So that's insecurestorage.com, right? Pretty much help yourself storage. Can you hear me okay, Stratton? I think the internet pigeons have taken a break for the cold. Not sure if we've lost Stratton a second. Let me see if I can remove him and then add him back in a second. I think the internet pigeons are taking a rest from flying back to Arizona here. Oh, you're kind of there, dude. Right. Let's see. I can't turn his camera off just to see if that helps the bandwidth. Let me see. I'll try once again.
This should be so much better. Can you hear me?
Awesome.
I had to connect. I just went and connected to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, perfect.
What's going on, man?
So,
sorry, what were you saying about storage?
Sounds like insecurestorage.com. Help yourself.
Yeah,
that guy.
But it's a lot less. When you get into these little tertiary markets, it's not nearly as competitive. Like same with houses, right? If we buy houses in these little tertiary towns, it's wild. But like I was driving around Brownfield, I've never seen so many deals in my life. But then I only saw 2 for sale signs throughout the entire town. It's like, well, so nobody wants these houses. And like these are nice neighborhoods with vacant houses to where like if you could get a good sub-2, get a good like single family deal in that area, it'd be easy. But then, okay, how do we sell this thing?
Holy crap, I'm just seeing where this is. Brownsville is just on the border.
No, put in Brownfield.
Oh, Brownfield. Okay.
Brownfield.
Here we go. Yeah, that didn't look like West Texas. Yeah, that's definitely in the middle of nowhere. I've got a deal at the moment in Midland, Texas.
Okay.
Which is a little bit. In fact, that's not far away. You could buy that deal, dude, and you could use that as an office commute. That could be the manager's house. I've got that.
How far away is Midland?
Let me tell you. I'm going to just do the directions. And it's an hour and 28 minutes. That's a nice little commute. That would be great.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's awesome, dude. I'm pleased. It's great to play in other playgrounds and buy different types of deals. You learn a hell of a lot from that kind of thing. And I guess under, the operating expenses are going to probably be a hell of a lot lower than single family rental to deal with. And the revenue opportunities are going to be so much higher.
Oh, yeah. A lot cheaper. This thing at the end of the year will bring in. Yeah, no, it'll bring in a lot more. Like if you buy a single family house, unless that thing's on Airbnb, killing it. Yeah. You're not getting that. Or even really apartments.
And if you got steel doors, that's pretty much the only thing you got to fix, and the locks are removable, so that's
exactly
to pay for. And as long as if it's air conditioned, that's great. That's an expense. But if it's not air conditioned, then it's pretty much the hot water tank for the bathroom in the office, and that's about all you need to deal with, isn't it?
We don't even have an office, so everything will be unmanned. So they will rent their own facility. They'll call in. They have to bring their own lock, take off their own lock, and then we have someone who will come and overlock, and that just means Like when somebody doesn't pay us, okay, we put our own lock on there. They can't get their shit, and we're gonna auction it off, and then someone to clean it out, and then the next person who wants to use it, they can go and put on their own lock.
Brilliant. That seems so easy. I want some.
Right? I mean, we have some friends in our mastermind who really don't work and make a lot of money.
Yeah,
Make a lot of money.
I like that model. That sounds good. So speaking of masterminds, that's why we connected the other day. Unfortunately, I can't make it,
Yeah.
but tell everyone that's on now. Brandon Simmons is on here. You know Brandon Simmons, don't you?
I've never met Brandon.
He's a
I saw that my team messaged him. So if any of you guys have gotten a message from me on Facebook, it probably hasn't been me. It's been my team.
So,
But
yeah, Brandon's a legend down here in town. He used to be operations manager for Sean Terry, amongst other
he
things.
runs Go Giver Mastermind, right?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So his Go Giver Mastermind, I think, is the same weekend as mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I know I've yet to meet Brandon. There's just so many people down there, dude. You guys like live in the hub of people to meet.
Absolutely. And you need to be here for people to meet you too.
I know. I haven't been. I went down there for a mastermind, but then I was too busy to go like talk to anybody. I was supposed to go to dinner like Raphael.
Well, let's do I don't know, maybe February or March. We do a meetup every third Saturday of the month. We'll organize for you to come down and be the speaker at that event, and we'll organize maybe something social with some of these guys down here. Maybe I don't know.
Just let me know, dude.
Guys are available.
I'm down.
So. Perfect. Well, let's aim for February or March. We'll talk offline and figure that out. But tell me about your mastermind. That sounds incredible.
Yeah, man. So the number one reason I've gotten far at all is because of masterminds and paying to go to events, and then I started learning to like pay to go VIP so I could talk to the speakers.
Yeah.
And luckily, like I got a relationship with Pace because we flew him out. But like when I went to Steve's first event really changed my life. I used my tax return to go there. Right. Yeah. And so I call Steve, he Sandler sells my ass. He's like, well, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, give me a tax return, come out here and learn how to make some real money.
Yeah.
So I give him my tax return, I go there, and my entire network has really been based off of that event.
Yeah.
And then going to a bunch of other ones and meeting a whole bunch of new people. And so I was like, okay, going to those events, and like my relationship with Steve has really impacted me. And I got my relationship with Steve because there's the first event I went to, and that was his first event, period. So it was like a really, really like big deal for him too.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, whenever I go to an event and I go VIP and I get to talk to the speakers, it is so much better. I was like, so how can I create that with some of the best speakers that I know, right? Like obviously I couldn't get Pacer or anything like that, or Steve, because Steve won't leave the house. But I got a handful of really good friends of mine who I know are amazing entrepreneurs who are going to come talk, and then it's going to be, you get exclusive access to them for pretty much 24 hours. All day long, they're going to come talk, and they can talk to you about your business. You can stand up, ask whatever questions you have. We're going to go out and drink afterwards. We're going to go top golf, go race some go-karts. But if you can get access to them and see how they think, see how they operate their business, and then get advice from them and like your exact situation, because there's YouTube info, and then there's like, hey, so I'm doing this, this, and this, and I'm running into this. What do you think I should do? Mm-hmm. And like, okay, well, I ran into that. I did this, this, and this. And that, like, that's what you pay for consulting for, right? Is someone's very specific knowledge. So Absolutely. We have my friend Dean Rogers coming, business partner of mine. Last year, he made $1 million net off of JVs, off of like his friends with benefits program. He runs pretty similar to like a Keegley program, just doesn't call it Keegley. But it's all, and it was all grew through word of mouth and social media of him hopping on social media saying like, hey, our buyers are hot. Our buyers are hungry. We just made our friends some money. Send us your deals. Let's see if we can sell it for more. And then he's grown that into a completely new wing that, I mean, $1 million net for off of that is amazing, dude. Like that pays for everything.
Yeah.
That eliminates your business overhead, especially at his scale, which is really cool. And then we have my good friend, Kyle Stanley. He, over the last 2 years, he's grown an Airbnb portfolio of about $50,000 net to him. And this is through managing and owning, which is, again, insane.
Yeah.
Then we have Gene Blinkoff. Gene is an amazing online marketer and lead generator who will come and talk about PPC. And he's grown his business to $100,000 a month in 4 months. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's over $500,000 in like assignment fees generated for his clients. Like, and this is monthly.
Yeah, I've been trying out his things and promoting it for a little while now. They've been great leads that I've had. I did one just before Christmas, turned out to be a mobile home, no land, 55 plus community. Took me a week and a half to get the sellers out after they were due to leave. But yeah, turned around and made sort of 8.5, 9 on that one within 3 weeks.
Right.
Sold as is.
As is. I mean, that's a small deal to pay the bills, dude. I mean, in 3 weeks, your cash turned over off of a lead you spent what, like $500 max on?
It was free, but I got to send a check to Gene because it was one of the old leads on the show, so we just pay him a third of what the assignment fee was going to be. So I got to send him through a third of what the split was on that one.
That's dope. Still free,
yeah,
even better. So we got Gene, then we have Scott Morris, who owns Lamso Media and Lamso Leads. I love Scott. He's a really good friend of mine. He owns a business that competes with ours, but I think he's an amazing entrepreneur. And he offers a lot in the sales space and really the hustle space and leadership space. And then we have, what else do we have? Michael Burns. He's an investor out of Salt Lake City, and he's somewhat integrating 3 different companies. So he has Lifestyle Realty, his flipping company, and then Lifestyle Lending. So he wants to be like a one-stop shop for everybody who comes to him. And we have Chris Miles. He'll be speaking about infinite banking. I'm trying to think. We have Lo Silva, who is a 8-figure entrepreneur. I'm a part of his mastermind in Powerhouse. He's an amazing guy, amazing marketer, invests in crypto and some other real estate. And then we have, there's 2 more, Natalie and Johnny Miley. And they are a little bit more on like the marketers and entrepreneurs. They own a supplement company. But in the last 2 years, they've done $0 on advertising. They've grown the entire business to $2 million a year through TikTok.
Holy moly. It's incredible, these platforms that these teenagers know about, and I've got no idea. I downloaded it twice, I think, over the last year and a half and deleted it again because I'm not Steve Trang, so I don't understand how that stuff works, or Ryan Pineda.
Right, but we have to, right? And the reason all these people have really grown because of their brand and social, and they're amazing entrepreneurs. But like, bro, if you can scale your company to $2 million a year with 0 advertising costs, that's simple, right? Through TikTok. Like I used to hate it. Now, like, I think the highest value task a lot of us can be doing is making TikToks. As stupid as that sounds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, brand is so important. You've been working through that recently. Are you going to cover stuff about branding and social media in the mastermind yourself, just through your acceleration over the last few months?
I'll talk about brand, and I mean, I'm not a master brander or master marketer. I'm not the biggest influencer by any means, but I do try and preach its importance of how it can make you more money.
Yeah, I think that's the important.
What was that?
I think that's the important step of the journey, is where you are, where you've just come from, is understanding that first little step to get the consistency or the pattern, the whatever that recipe is that we need to use to brand ourselves and promote. That's the key that we need to be working on, so that we can just get over that first hurdle, see the benefit, and then exponentially grow at that point.
Exactly. So we have all of us, and then obviously we have me. I'll talk about building your brand. We have a 7-figure company that does pretty well, and our clients are killing it. And I can talk about cold calling, skip tracing, online lead generation, and social media. But yeah, with all that, we did the math. Like, all those people charge like $300 an hour just to like consulting calls. So, and then you'll be with them for about 24 hours in total, like $70,000 worth of value just right.
If not more. Yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool.
But just being right in front of these people, and not that I expect somebody's cell phone number, but if there's a relationship to be built, that's $1 million relationship right there. Even if it's not doing business with them, but the gems that you can bring them value in the future, and vice versa, that receptivity, the reciprocity, that's the key to that. And that's why it's so important to pay to get into these rooms with the people.
Oh, bro, paying to get into the rooms. And if anybody, I don't know how many people we have on here, but like for the newer people, pay to get into the rooms, like pay to go to the masterminds, because it's Tony Robbins is really big. And I was listening to a podcast with him and Russell Brunson. And for those of you guys who don't know who Russell Brunson is, he owns ClickFunnels. They do like $100 million a year in revenue. And Tony Robbins told him, in order for you to get farther, you need to get around people who are doing $1 billion,
Mhm.
because they're the ones who are going to show you and talk to you about how you need to think and do better. They're going to make your vision grow.
Yeah.
So like
It's
for
just,
anybody who's getting new, I get all levels, dude. I'm always looking for it.
yeah. It's eliminating the
What was that,
minutia
Tristan?
we worry about at this stage. It's like growing up, you worry about, I don't know, what color crayon you're going to get to play with at the one age. Then when you get to an older age, it's what kind of music am I listening to, or what kind of music am I going to be exposed to. Then at this age, it's not about the silly little things that you worry about anymore. Those are important. Those should be taken care of at that point. But then you're thinking about 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line at that point, and just employing and delegating with other people to worry about the shorter term responsibilities.
Exactly. And the proximity thing is power, dude. Over the last year, going to all the different masterminds and meeting some of the amazing people there doing insane things, like below 30, making $100 million a year. I was like, oh, well, that's really possible. It's completely different. Why did I think slightly differently?
Yeah. I remember Cody Barton telling us about the book, which was Millionaire Mind, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, I think it was, Harv T. Eker. And it was talking about the financial thermostat that we have. When we grow up, we have a relationship to money, and at 5 years old, $100 might as well be $1 million. Then we get to 20 years old,
exactly.
That $100 is nothing at that point. Now 1,000 or 10,000 is a lot more, but even some of us at our age, we're thinking that $1,000 is a lot of money, and to be hoarded and scarce with, instead of seeing that 1,000 could make $1 million in a short period of time if invested in the right chain of events to bring that wealth and that return.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I want everybody to get exposed to some really high-level entrepreneurs and I think high-level thinkers.
Yeah.
And just from being around that, you will take away so much and grow so much in this upcoming year.
Can I drop in that Calendly link that you shared with me here? I want to drop that in for everybody. Tell us about the dates. When is this happening?
January 20th and 29th. Yeah, January 20th and 28th. We'll start at 29th. We'll start at like 10 a.m. on the 28th and then go as late as we possibly can. And then we'll start at 10 a.m. again on the 29th and we'll go as late as we possibly can.
And that's in Brownfield, Texas?
No, that'll be in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Perfect. Fantastic. And there's still some great flights available. I think that's far enough out to get a good bargain right now. So 2 full days of action. You're going to be around some amazing people, and even from the attendees, they're going to bring huge value to even the people that speak in there, from maybe questions that are posed that they haven't necessarily come across ever. And that just, again, gets everybody thinking. There's value from all of these aspects in these situations.
I was talking to a dude the other day, and he was like, well, I feel like I'm not far enough yet to come to this. So I was like, that's the wrong mindset, dude. Just come and absorb it all.
Yeah.
That'll be worth it in and of itself, and then you might make a relationship, and it all takes off from there.
Yeah.
Like, never think you're not far enough, because with 7 figures is not that far away from most people.
Yeah.
Like, you're like right there.
If we think of ourselves as a jigsaw puzzle missing many pieces, we're never going to find them all. But if we think that we may be one piece in somebody else's jigsaw puzzle that may make us the full picture, that's the view that we need to take, because that could complete somebody else's picture and make us all, very successful in that perspective.
Exactly. Right, I like that one.
I just made that up right now. But yeah, it's good to look at different analogies. I mean, it's I think I used that one in creative finance a couple of times, because you talk to a seller and you're giving them a bit of the push away. I got to figure out whether you're part of my jigsaw puzzle and whether I'm part of yours. And if that's not the case, I might be able to find the person that is the right piece for your puzzle. But I've got a few different puzzles I'm doing. Maybe I can fit you into this one instead of the other one.
I like that.
If your cash figure is the big one, I definitely know I've got a puzzle that I can fit fit a piece like yours into, but I may not be your buyer at that price. Do you know what I mean? Just walking around that type of situation.
I love how you use analogies, and so I suck at it. I need to use analogies a lot more because it helps people just grasp the concept a lot better.
Yeah, it's hard to find ones that this messed up mind will understand, that I can communicate to somebody else that they'll understand, because some of them might be a British analogy where, wow, what the hell's that? What's a tomato?
What part of England did you grow up in?
Do you know the shape of the UK? It's kind of, I think on
Yeah.
this camera it'll be that way. It's basically the most southwesterly part. It's called Cornwall.
Okay.
It's the most beautiful part of the earth in its entirety. It's three sides of the county are surrounded by water. The Atlantic Ocean basically comes in from the west. So on the north, we've got surfing beaches, really soft sand. On the south side, we've got some rougher beaches, but just very rugged coastline. And it's not particularly warm, but there is like a little microclimate down there. There's a few islands off the most southwesterly point called the Scilly Isles, and that's got its own little subtropical climate. That's where Atlantis is allegedly located. That's where they think Atlantis kind of sank to. But yeah, there's no freeways there. There's a couple of highways that go through so the traffic sucks in the summer. So there's a lot of tourists, but it distracts some of the tourists from coming down. Very much tourist driven. And that's why I want to get an Airbnb there by the end of 2023, just that I can have a place that I can rent out. I can go and stay there for 1, 2, 3, 4 months during the year, as I need to, or my kids can, and then I just know I've got a base that I can go to, and it's in the most beautiful place in the world, even though it might be raining.
What I think is crazy is that you have a beautiful accent, and then when I went there in high school and I was playing for USA, we had a kid on our team from really northern England, and our coach was from Ireland.
Yeah,
and he still couldn't understand him.
Yeah, yeah, they've definitely got some funny accents up north.
Bro, I mean, they're thick. I wish I could give people an example, but just like Google it, it'll be entertaining for the least.
So I went to this. I used to work in IT years ago. I was installing like point of sale systems in hotels and restaurants, and there was Aberdeen is way up north in Scotland, and they had a lot of Chinese clients at the casino. They love to gamble. And the manager of the casino said, "Oh, it's the birthday of one of my clients. They've got a restaurant. We're going to go down there and eat. The cousins come over from Hong Kong. They're cooking. It's going to be amazing." What I wasn't ready for was a Chinese person with a very thick Scottish accent. So it's kind of partially Chinese accent, but very, very thick Scottish. And it was the most awesome thing I've come across in my life. It was brilliant. It just threw me for 6. It was unbelievable. But it's funny how these accents combine in different ways and kind of throw you off, because a lot of people think that I'm Australian.
Okay.
Say to them, "So how much Australian television you watch? You must have seen some TV to know the accent." "Oh, I've not seen any Australian TV." "Well, so why do you think I'm Australian? Have you seen any British television?" "Oh, yeah, loads of that." And, it's either South African, Australian, or Kiwi. I ran into a South African the other day. Picked him out like straight away. He was speaking at the counter or whatever it was. We were getting coffee, but yeah, it's funny how accents play games.
Oh man, they're funny. They're funny.
But I've never been to Texas, but I can sound like one of those guys.
You only know me in Texas?
I went there once. I fell off a mule. It clotheslined me. My brother lives on a 55-acre ranch just south of Dallas, and I got this. It was the 21st of December, the day before my birthday. And I needed a mule because there weren't any horses that were large enough, I suppose. So I got on this mule. I got it kind of cantering or whatever it was, not running. But then on the way back, I got it to run, and it decided it didn't want to run because it was a windy day. So there was a telegraph pole with one of those wires that comes down to hold it up, but a back scratcher in for the cows that roam free. And this mule just then started to turn towards this thing, and I thought, oh shit. So I leant backwards, and I got a hernia from it and a broken wrist. It was awesome.
I grew up riding horses, and I don't trust them. I don't ride them anymore.
Yeah. I can't say I wouldn't ride a horse again. I think I have ridden horses since, but not making them run. But this was just a silly ass, I think. On the donkey, on the mule. Yeah, that's times.
Does anybody have any questions about any real estate,
Yeah.
VAs, creative finance? Really
Marie Baginski is a fortune builder who runs her
Oh,
own group.
nice.
Yeah, she's super. I'm going out to her to meet with her partner and somebody about modular homes tomorrow lunchtime. Modular homes are, I think, on the horizon for a lot of things. I'm not sure if they're storage unit based or some other sort of modular construction, but we're going to go and see some tomorrow. This, I think, could be a good answer for mobile home parks that don't have the stock of mobile homes available, where they can go and buy shipping containers real cheap because it's cheaper for them to just affordable housing. It's cheaper for them to take the storage unit and dump it in the US when they ship it from China, and then go and build another steel
Then
shipping.
it would be to ship it back.
Yeah. So they're just dumping these things over here. And with the advent of COVID and the shortage of mobile home sales, these things are going to be magic if you can cut windows in them, insulate them, and just turn them into. And then you can do multi-level, but it's obviously down to county regulations to whether they'll approve those A to be lived in and B on those kind of lots. But I don't think they're very different from
affordable housing
from a mobile home lot. So I think you could pretty much put one of those on. If you get the permit to do a double stack, you got a 2-story house for a very low cost,
right?
And you could prefabricate the plumbing and everything else inside. There's a company called Sofitel. They own Ibis and Formula One hotels in Europe, and they just built porta cabins like mobile home that they would build. They'd put all the plumbing in, and they would put them on semi trucks, drive, and they would stack them in, line them up, and you'd have bedrooms pre-made. They would just come and park them and put them in place and stack them up, and you got a pre-built hotel. So all you got to do is the slab. You have the plumbing access. They all just go in there and plumb them into the pieces, so it goes into the sewer and the water line goes up, and you've got basically a pre-built hotel. So in the same principle, we could probably do that with modular homes in that sense by bringing these shipping containers pre-built, dump them in place, and you can just arrange to buy them directly from the shipping company, so they're getting the direct profit rather than reselling them to somebody else.
That's a good idea. And they're building, and that's what they're doing right now.
I can see that coming. I think I can see that coming for sure.
We have
it's Liam Benson from Wisconsin, I believe, and he works with Gene Blinkoff. We were just talking about Gene, Liam.
What's going on, Liam? Liam, tell Gene to text me back, bro. I have been texting back and forth with him for the last 3 days, and he takes a day and a half to respond.
Yeah, I think he's gone off iPhone. I don't know if he's gone on to, he's transferred his phone to an IP phone or something, but it's not.
On Messenger. On Messenger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, rents are really crazy right now, but it's good for us. I'm just putting the rents up in a duplex in Florida that I just bought a couple of weeks ago. I'm inviting one of the tenants to leave by putting the rent up substantially because she's very bad at paying, apparently. So I'll lower it a bit to where it should be. So once she leaves, so he said he's a slow responder for him as well. So I think talking to you on Sunday, Liam, about PBC. I think we got an appointment with you, so I'm looking forward to hearing about that. So so we were talking about a mastermind that Stratton's putting on up in Salt Lake City. I dumped a link in there a couple of minutes ago. I will pull that up again for you. Here we go. So let me see here.
And Liam's in Wisconsin, or is he out there with Gene?
I think he's in Wisconsin. I'm not sure. I think it's Wisconsin, isn't it, Liam? Came in a little bit late. So who is the Facebook user that put that in? I don't think that's Brandon.
I came on a little late. Where are you guys talking about PPC leads? Thoughts?
I
think PPC is an amazing way to scale. I think you need to have all ad channels, honestly.
So there we go.
Minnesota. Okay, sweet. I think PPC is amazing. I think cold calling is amazing. The biggest thing is really like getting your cash back as soon as you can and doing big deals.
Yeah. I think this one's for you. I think we covered that a little earlier on in concept. Do you want to answer that?
How has your framework of money changed after doing 10 deals? So, number one, I would say don't listen to anybody who says they're doing hundreds of deals a month, because if they're in Timbuktu, Alabama, and they're all $1,000, it don't mean shit. But after doing 10 deals, I'd say you get used. The biggest shift is that you realize you can't do it on your own, and you need to start hiring.
Yeah.
Well, if you really want to have like some actual time, because you can be running 10 deals all the time, doing it all yourself. But then I always say I got into this for financial freedom and time freedom, not to have a fucking job.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get tied up into, oh, only they can do it, or I love my job, I want to do this forever. Yes, but I love my family. I love going and doing other things. I love enjoying a lot and doing a lot of other things. So the number one thing I have to do is provide opportunities for other people.
Yeah. And I think when you get to 10 deals, then it becomes, how do I do the next 10 deals quicker in a shorter period of time than I did the first 10 deals?
Yeah.
And it's scaling that back to shorten the time, the sales cycle, or maybe not shortening the sales cycle, but having the pipeline to be able to provide that increasing velocity of deals along the way. And that's exactly where scaling comes along, which is bringing in other team members to offload. Who Not How is an amazing book that goes through how to find the person to do the who to do the how, instead of you trying to figure out how to do everything. It's taking the hats off one by the areas of skill that you have least skill or least efficiency. Now, you can do something efficiently, but it isn't necessarily effective. It's not the right thing. So you really need to be finding the right person to do the right thing that suits them. That is their area of genius. I think it was the big leap that I haven't read yet. I think there was a zone of genius, I think was the term that they used. Trying to find your zone of genius to then be able to excel at what you do. Gary Vee, I've just read 12 and a half. He talks about improving some skills, but generally he's been talking about...
Is that his new book?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's just got a great voice to listen to.
He's a good speaker, man.
So it's really not about improving your least efficient skills. It's about improving your zone of genius, your best skills. How do you make that skill better and better and better, so you can offer a higher level of skill and a high value to others and your own business? Because you're responsible for supporting other people's families, whether you're fix and flipping, whether it's your acquisitions team, your dispo team, title companies, whatever business you can put through with your partners, and Liam as a PPC source of leads. We're all supporting each other. It's a collaborative environment. It's not about us having the secret sauce for this. Yep, there are some nuances that we may learn along the way that may not suit other people, but there's so many opportunities here that it's not about running out of deals and somebody not being able to be a wholesaler because there's already 10,001 wholesalers, so there can't be another one. There's room for everybody everywhere, and if we work together, we can make more money. And that's where we came together with a creative JV group, is collaboration over competition. It's not necessarily about creative finance. Obviously, a growing number of us know about creative finance. It's more about the creativity of me working with you. If I find a storage deal, Stratton, you've got some experience in that. Hey, how can we work on this together to make 50% of something instead of 100% of nothing, and me passing on a deal that I don't know anything about?
Exactly.
Hey, Stratton, does this look good or not? Probably not that one, but if you look out for this and the next opportunity that comes along, let me know. Let's go through it in a bit more detail. Like, who are the other competitors in town? How quickly do they answer the phone? Do they have a Google business site? Do they have an SEO? Are they capturing all the people that they need? What's their security like? Are they air conditioned? Are they just, is it just a dirt lot with, easily accessible things? All of that stuff is really important. And I didn't expect to learn about storage tonight. Conversations will bring you nuggets. It may not be what you expect, and you don't want to deep dive and squirrel into different things. This is a problem for this guy, squirrel. But focus on what your primary goal is. And I'm going through another reorientation of my business at the moment, which is focusing down again. I've got distracted on doing many different things. It's honing down on a few, or one or two lead sources and sort of partnerships, and that's where it's got to come from. Focus back in, find somebody that can take that vertical or that marketing thing themselves. I can then be an assistant in that process of taking it across the finish line, underwriting, whilst at the same time, teaching that person that skill so they become more self-sufficient. But it's also those at-bats where you fail. Success is a series of well-managed failures. And, I think if we look at life that way, we're all going to do very well.
Oh, yeah. And when it comes to the deals, man, I'm really big on brand for everyone else, just because if everybody knows what area you're in and what you're looking to buy, you're the first person they're going to reach out to.
Yeah.
When I posted about my storage units today, I got 2 storage unit deals sent to me on my Instagram.
Perfect.
Right. And so that goes with the creativeness.
So, you go to, it's knowing your specialized area and being known for your specialized area, because it's send me all your deals. Well, I don't want my dispo guy going through all of these deals that are single family, quadplexes, multifamily, mobile home parks, if they're not equipped to deal with that, because that's an inefficiency in my business. I'm talking to myself here. I'm thinking out loud and speaking with people, because it's not fair on that person to expect them to deal with all of these things. Well, I want single family in Phoenix, 2,500 square feet, acquisition price of this, exit price around here. Then you're being specific, because then somebody's going to remember that when they come across the deal and call me. If you need a number on it, talk me through the deal, tell me what they've got. I'll tell you what a fair price is with it. If you can get more somewhere else, I understand, but I'm willing to give you a fair price. Love to work with you on that. And you're giving them value to try and lock up the deal. You may be getting the deal that they didn't get. Yeah, they may take it somewhere else. So be it. Good luck for somebody else, but they're going to remember you, that you helped them get over that hurdle to get the
that value is huge, dude. I think that's understated. I was on the phone with the dude today. He was like, I feel bad for reaching out to guys to help me with comps. I was like, bro, if I don't know something, I'm still reaching out to whoever I know who I think is going to comp it better. Like, bro, I'm looking at this. We're looking at this. What do you think it's worth? I mean, we had our mentor. He flew into this. He was sitting right there. He flew in to walk the facility with us and break it down, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong to ask, because that is a ton of, he brought me an immense value. My girlfriend and I, so much value, dude. It's insane. So if you can do that to someone else, and then the wholesaler's going like, hey, I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I should lock it up. You say, if you get it at that price, I got it. That's money that they wouldn't even have made, because they wouldn't have felt confident locking it up in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that, on flips and that kind of stuff, if not to say that somebody, comps a property for you, you should partner with them on the deal, but why not? If they've got a deal that they may think is more up your alley or that you've been interested in doing, they're probably going to come back to you. Hey, Stratton, I know you were talking to me about this 6 months ago. I got one of these coming. Should we work it together?
Yep.
And it happens. I mean, people may think it wouldn't happen, but it does. And if you're around the right people, they're going to take care of you, or they'll sell you the deal and help you along with it. They'll make some money from you on assignment, but who cares? If everyone's making money at the end of the day and everyone's doing it ethically and well, then, is it a problem if somebody else makes you play Minecraft, Liam?
Hey, that's a good girlfriend right there. Hey, go have fun, bro. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. So, are you doing much with NFTs or crypto and that kind of stuff? I think you're doing a bit with crypto, aren't you?
I'm doing a little bit with crypto. We have some Cardano, Hector DAO, Time Wonderland. Hector DAO and Time Wonderland took a shit, but we still have some money in there. Hex, Ethereum, and then I just sacrificed it into PulseX. And I think PulseX is what I'm really excited about. One of my business partners just put in 100K into that.
Yeah.
And so for every dollar you get 10,000 coins. So at 100K, I'll do the math right here on my laptop. At $100,000, let's say, how many? I think that puts us like $1 million. But I was doing the math on this, which is pretty crazy. So let's say puts in 100,000.
And that's another crypto, is it?
Times, it's a crypto. It's a Ethereum fork. So pretty much Ethereum's gas fees are so expensive, it's really hard to use. And so the creator of Hex, and Hex is on the Ethereum blockchain, just created his own blockchain, like, hey, use this. And he's going to airdrop, we're getting really into the weeds. They're going to airdrop whatever coins you have on the Ethereum blockchain you'll get those on the Pulse drop chain, on Pulse blockchain, right? So let's say I have $1 million in Ethereum. I would just get $1 million in Pulse Ethereum, and then I could sell all that for regular Ethereum if I really wanted to. So like you get a bunch of free money, which is pretty wild.
Nice.
So this is, geez, that's a lot of. If it was the last day on Earth, what would you tell your kids? I love you.
Yeah.
You're awesome. I mean, that's all.
Absolutely.
Last day on Earth, what would you tell your kids? I've never heard that one before. I mean, all I'd tell my kids is I love you, and do your best and don't suck.
Yeah. Don't miss me. Just remember what you learned from me, your grandparents, and whoever's transferred knowledge through the family tree. Just take that, go with it, and have a great life.
Yeah, I mean, that's, Thank you for the question. But I'm really I tell my son I love him like 30 times a day. And just so he knows. So I feel like that, and then we do affirmations and everything else. Just remember your affirmations and remember that I loved you, man. But yeah, that's a little bit different. But back to crypto. He'll make like, if it goes to 10 cents, he will make $100 million.
Wow.
Which is pretty wild.
That is crazy.
And that's with the Pulse swap. And I know a lot of people have been putting in an ungodly amount of money in there.
Yeah.
But crypto's cool. NFT is not as much. I just joined a group with my friend Matt Garrett Beaton, and if you guys are interested in that, hit me up. He's my crypto guy who I go to for all the info. And I just joined his group. It's like $200 a month. And he's been head over heels, and he's who's taught me everything. He's flipping NFTs. My other business and Call Magicians, he flipped a Cardano NFT for like 10K the other day. Yeah, crypto's. Crypto, I'd say, takes up a third of my time of just learning.
Yeah, it's something I know I got to learn, but I just haven't dabbled yet.
I mean, bro, it's hard. I mean, I feel like with everything we're doing, I think you have to make time for crypto and TikTok as millennial and young. That sounds. I think like you must make time for crypto and TikTok because it's just such a big opportunity. But yeah, man, it gets hard when you got all that stuff going on. You got your own companies going, then you got to like learn about this crypto stuff because you don't want to be missing out. And like the FOMO is real. I don't care what anybody says. Like FOMO is real, and you could miss out.
Yeah.
And then TikTok because you're focusing on that, and like if you want to start really growing your brand, that's a full-time job, dude. Like what Ryan Pineda does, that is a full-time job. What Steve-O does with the podcast, that's a full-time job.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Here's one weird one. What's your view of gold? I can't see any right now, so I don't think I have got a view of gold. This is solid gold, this guy right over here. But gold is always going to be one of those solid things. And, you know, we won't get into the gold standard with the oil, but at the end of the day, you've still got to look at that Bond film back in the day with Ursula Andress. Somebody nukes one of those gold reserves, that price of gold is going to, shoot up massively for the gold that isn't contaminated. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I always remember that movie that was set at Fort Knox. Do you remember that one? I don't know if you ever saw that Bond film.
Which one? Does it have Pierce Brosnan in it?
No, in fact, it wasn't Ursula Andress. It was the character was Pussy Galore, I believe. It was my uncle met her a few years ago. I got to look this up now. It was she was in yeah, I forget which movie it was now. Maybe it was Thunderdome. I forget. I guess it's not terribly important, but yeah, it was a great Bond film.
My view on gold is whatever people decide is valuable is valuable.
Yeah.
people all of a sudden decide that gold isn't valuable anymore, then it's not valuable. Like it's the humans deciding what they want to exchange in turn for their value, because all money is a store of value that you've created.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah.
Right. And so people are determining what is storing said value. Like right now, most of our value is in a fiat currency or paper.
Yeah.
At a point in time, it was in berries, right? In a point in time, it was in a cow. All gold is just a new age cow, and I think it has like some purity things to it. But I think over time, yeah, it's probably good to have it in a hedge. But I don't know. I don't think it's bad to hold too much of it. I think Peter Schiff is a little bit, right? Like he said, oh, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. I'm not like that at all. I don't think you'll go wrong. I think when everything hits the fan, having gold and crypto is probably the right way to go.
Yeah. And you think of crypto versus gold, it's probably not going to be that easy to have, a chunk of gold, which is going to be divisible to an amount of money that you really need to exchange, or the value of money that you
exactly.
Need where crypto is like, I can give you, a millionth of a crypto
of whatever
piece of toilet paper,
Exactly. And crypto. So the reason I like crypto is because no other asset ever has Hex has gone up 1,000,000% in the last year.
Yeah.
No other financial instrument has ever done that for anybody before, like ever. So that's why everyone says like, oh, I need to get into crypto because it holds value and it can also go up, but with such massive gains that it's really, really unstable with its ups and its downs. And you can see it right now. I think I checked today, it's at 43. And I think the high was like 76 or something this year. And that was only like a month ago. But I think gold still is an amazing investment and store of wealth. But I think you should be well diversified. I mean, real estate, crypto, gold. As you start making money, dude, you're going to talk to everybody else and you're really going to form your own opinions, because the hard thing, like when people give you financial advice, are they in your exact shoes? How liquid do you want to be? Like how liquid is your gold? I like crypto because it can actually be pretty liquid. Yeah, it might be a little bit volatile, but if I need to, I can take a hit on it and I can sell $1 million worth today, right now.
Yeah. And with everything, buy real estate and wait, it's the same principle. It's like gold and crypto. It's not a short-term game, or it is for some people, but when you're using that as a diversified asset or commodity, you're just buying it and holding it for the long term, and you make some adjustments over time. You may miss a couple of wagons along the way, but you're going to generally just float upwards over time.
Exactly. Buy real estate and wait.
Yeah. Or storage units.
Buy assets that bring you cash flow and wait. You won't go wrong.
Absolutely. Awesome, bro. Well, I think we should wrap it here, but thank you so much for coming on. It was great to catch up with you. Great way to call the other day. And
thanks for having me on, man.
In Phoenix, we'll line something up. We'll get a good meetup going, and we'll get a good crowd out to come and hang.
Let me know, bro.
I will. Thank you so much, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Safe
travel.
Have
a great night.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.